The most frequently asked question is, when will Bitmine BMNR return to its all-time high? In today's video, we will talk about Bitmine BMNR's current market position. Along with that, we'll understand how major banks have started entering BMNR, how strong updates related to Ethereum are indirectly benefiting BMNR, and what potential impact BlackRock's ETF-related steps could have. We will also discuss how BMNR's relatively low price is actually becoming an advantage for the company itself. And finally, we'll address the main question investors keep asking: when can BMNR return to its previous peak? Welcome to Big B USA Stock, your daily source for U.S. stock market updates, trends, and insights. Stay ahead, stay informed. Subscribe now for daily update. This video is for educational purposes only. It is not financial advice. Always do your own research before making any investment decisions. First, let's talk about investor sentiment. At the moment, the Fear and Greed Index has dropped to around the 37 level, which clearly indicates that the overall market is still in the fear zone. Now, if we look at Bitmine's price, at the time of creating this video, Bitmine BMNR is trading around $20.15. On the surface, the price chart does not show any extraordinary movement, but behind the scenes, significant activity has already taken place that could be very important from a long-term perspective. The first major development is that Bitmine has further increased its Ethereum holdings. According to a report, the company acquired 45,759 ETH with an estimated total value of approximately $91 million. After this new purchase, Bitmine's total Ethereum holdings have exceeded $8.7 billion. This sends a clear signal that the company is strategically taking advantage of discounted Ethereum prices to strengthen its long-term positioning. Now let's move toward institutional interest. Recent 13F filings reveal that several Tier 1 financial institutions from the United States and Canada have significantly increased their exposure to Bitmine BMNR. According to available data, Bank of America holds approximately 3.16 million shares, with a disclosed value of around $85.8 million, representing a quarter-over-quarter increase of more than 1,600% in holdings. Similarly, the Royal Bank of Canada reported holding over 764,000 shares, valued at more than $20 million, with holdings growing by over 100%. These filings were submitted in February and are based on data up to the end of December, indicating that institutions are gradually adding BMNR to their balance sheets. Now let's shift toward the Ethereum ecosystem, because BMNR's future is largely linked to ETH adoption. According to recent data, adoption of real-world assets, RWAs, on the Ethereum blockchain is growing rapidly. Reports suggest that the total market capitalization of tokenized assets on Ethereum has surpassed $15 billion, showing nearly 200% annual growth excluding stablecoins. These assets include tokenized funds, stocks, and commodities, signaling that traditional financial institutions are actively beginning to integrate blockchain technology. This trend positions Ethereum as a developing real-world financial infrastructure, which could indirectly benefit companies like Bitmine. Additionally, there are updates suggesting that BlackRock is exploring staking-related mechanisms within ETF structures. If staking adoption expands at the ETF level, more ETH supply could become locked in staking. Reduced circulating supply combined with stable or increasing demand may create scarcity, which could theoretically strengthen Ethereum's demand dynamics, and companies with large ETH exposure could benefit indirectly. Now an important question arises: how do low ETH prices and BMNR's own relatively low price become an advantage for the company? The biggest advantage is that when Ethereum's price declines, BMNR's valuation also comes under pressure, creating attractive entry points for institutional investors. This is exactly why we are seeing banks and major financial institutions gradually building positions. The capital flowing into the company can then be used for further Ethereum accumulation, meaning BMNR itself appears to be strategically taking advantage of this discount phase. At the moment, many investors are waiting for BMNR to start a bullish trend, which is why the question frequently appears on social media. When will Bitmine BMNR return to its previous all-time high? However, when viewed from a broader perspective, the current downtrend may actually represent an accumulation phase for the company. Markets often experience foundational growth during quiet periods, which later becomes visible through strong price movements. Overall, the bigger picture shows that while the price appears calm on the surface and market sentiment remains in fear, behind the scenes several important factors are developing, including institutional entry, Ethereum adoption growth, expansion of RWAs, and potential ETF developments. These elements are collectively building a long-term narrative that investors are closely watching. This was Big B Stock USA bringing you the latest updates from the U.S. markets. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more.